Today we are looking at Transformers Fall of Cybertron for the Xbox 360. It was released by Activision in 2012. Now this game is a third-person shooter that returns players to the Transformers planet of Cybertron for the final battles of the legendary Civil War that preceded their arrival on Earth. The game continues the story from the first game, Transformers War for Cybertron. Players experience the war from both sides, the Autobots and the Decepticons' point of view, and utilize new powerful Transformer types. Additional features include epic large-scale battles, character-specific abilities, character customization, improved enemy AI, 13 missions, and online multiplayer. But as of today, the online multiplayer has been shut down, so this review is just for the single-player game only. Remember, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button as it helps out the channel grow. And don't forget to hit the notification button for all future videos. So, how is Transformers today? Here's our review of Transformers Fall of Cybertron for the Xbox 360.
Optimus, we tried our best. Without Grimlock, Megatron rolled right over.
War for Cybertron performed an amazing job with their story, telling the beginning of the Cybertronian Civil War all the way to the point where Optimus was forced to command Cybertron's evacuation. Fall of Cybertron takes place 6 days after those events, seeing the Autobots battle to flee their crumbling homeworld while fending off Megatron and his Decepticons' onslaught. I was excited about how many things I discovered in the story. For example, why does Shockwave have only one arm? Why are the Insecticons so violent and unpredictable? And what became a Metroplex? Everything comes together to make this one of the greatest Transformers experience I've ever seen.
They're on the hunt, all right.
Keep looking. Can't hide forever.
The campaign is now one continuous tale. It's not divided into two halves, Autobots and Decepticons. It's all one plot with very little breaks in between levels. It takes place over a week before the arc's departure, and explains what the Autobots and Decepticons went through before traveling to the stars, away from the war-torn and dying world. Each level has a new character to play as, either an Autobot or a Decepticon, and the levels are designed in such a way that even if some of them are rather short, you don't really feel like you're missing out on anything important to the plot since everything flows so perfectly together. There's also audio logs to gather, which offer you a better understanding of the conflict and how things have been going. Everything fell into place with your vehicle shape, melee attack abilities, and gunplay like in the War for Cybertron did. With the press of a button, you may transform into a vehicle for increased mobility and weapons. You also get vehicle-specific skills like Optimus Prime's battering ram or Starscream's barrel roll. Every gun works differently and is highly satisfying. Slicing foes up with the gear shredder is entertaining. Watching enemies rot and break apart from the slime cannon is rewarding. And some of those weapons are simply so fun to play with despite their low stats. We also now have the option to alter camera angles. Because your camera is locked behind you, it is easier to set up shots from behind cover rather than moving out of cover.
Controls now available for limb attachments.
Compared to the first game, the game's visuals are noticeably much better. Everything is more fluid and more attractive to look at. Explosions in particular. This brings me to the environments. In the first game, there was a lot of indoor fighting and you hardly got to see Cybertron cities and landscapes. There was also a lot of darkness. In this game, you have a lot of outdoor fighting with great lighting effects. From Optimus Prime fighting through Decepticons just outside of an ambush, to the other characters fighting through Decepticons in the middle of the city. Everything looks bigger and brighter than in the first game. Heavy music is included in the soundtrack for this game, and it works well. The soundtrack is just really good. Perfectly timed sound effects give the gunshots, stabbing, and explosions all great sound. Also wonderfully done was a transformation when the Autobots transform. A lot of personality is given to the different characters thanks to the great voice acting. This applies to the rank and follow as well. For example, the chit-chat between the Combaticons and Grimlock's speech is great. All in all, the sound and voices combine to produce a rich and engrossing experience. Peter Cullen returns and does an excellent job voicing the most well-known leader of the Autobots. Steve Blum does a respectable job portraying Shockwave, and Greg Berger returns to voice the infamous Grimlock.
Sentry guns. They'll eat you alive if you're not careful.
Target acquired.
Fall of Cybertron outperforms the first game. The revised storyline setup makes the tale more exciting. The minor problems with the guns and ammos are resolved. The levels provide more variation and depth, and the presentation shows more variety. The drawback is that this time around there are fewer surprises. All the characters are well known, but I would have liked for a few different characters that wasn't in the first game, like if they would swap out Cliffjumper for Mirage or Jazz for Hound. But that's just one of my little gripes. One of my biggest complaints is that you can't choose the character you want like in the first game. That gave the first game a little bit more replay value. The overall gameplay works well enough for shooter fans to enjoy it, and the story combined with the references, scenery, and overall gameplay is great if you're a Transformers fan. And if you're any kind of Transformers fan, get this game. If you know someone that likes Transformers, get them this game. It's a great ride of giant robots beating up other giant robots, with an incredible, well-written story and levels that combine the story with great gameplay, and plenty of references for old-school fans to enjoy. The story of a dying planet of the civil war between giant transforming robots has never been better. I really enjoyed this game. Transformers Fall of Cybertron for the Xbox 360 is getting a 9 out of 10. What did you think about Transformers Fall of Cybertron for the Xbox 360? Please leave comments below to share your thoughts. That would do it for this episode. We do live streams throughout the week, mostly games from the Xbox or the Nintendo Switch, and we also do retro games throughout the week as well. And remember, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up for your support. Thank you for watching, and I will see you here on the next episode. Have a great day.
For you and I to coexist.